Hi and welcome to one of my sewing tutorials. This is a fun and easy summer dress that I've actually sewed with some fabric that I made, and yeah, I just love this fabric so much. I didn't have enough of one color to make it a dress, so I decided to put it together and use two different types of fabric to make one dress. So I'm deciding on these two blue ones, and I'm just checking out how much fabric there is to see what I can make from it. So this is going to be for the top part of it, and it is some linen that's mixed with a bit of polyester. And I'm just using this little vest, and I'm cutting the edge nice and sharp there along the bottom, and then I'm just making it with some long straps. So I'm going roughly around the edges of the knitted top, but giving it a bit of extra seam allowance because the knitted top of course will have some give in it and this linen fabric won't. So that's for the top bit, and then this is for the skirt. So I'm folding it in one first and then in another one, so it's like a square fold and folding it once again as well and once again, because then I can make a circle here. So I'm just drawing it and then cutting it, and that should hopefully make a nice circle. And yeah, then it's about just making it a little bit nicer. And then I got to make an opening from my waist. So I'm just cutting a little hole to begin with. I know this is going to be way too small, and then I'm going to see what width the top has, and then I'm just going to cut a little bit extra here. And you can measure to make it more perfect, but this is just how I'm doing it, and it kind of works. So first of all, I'm going to sew down the sides of this top. So that's two layers, so I'm going to do one side and the other side, and I'm just doing it on my serger, so it's nice and easy, nice and quick. And that's basically it, and taking it out to front, that's it. And the dress is very easy because it doesn't need to be stitched together because it is already in one piece. So I'm putting those two bits together, the top bit and the skirt bit, and I'm making sure the front of the fabric on the skirt is facing towards the front of the fabric of the top, and then just sewing them together on my serger, which makes it so easy. But you can also just use a normal seam and a zigzag seam as well, so to make sure that the ends don't fray. But the serger is of course just really nice because it does it all in one go. So this is basically the dress stitched together. So now it's about the finishing touches. So I'm just going over the bottom hem with my serger, or you could also use a zigzag stitch to just make sure that the ends don't fray here. And then I'm going to do like a simple hem afterwards, just folding it up like 1 centimeter towards the back and stitching it in place. But you could also, like if you had a serger, you could make a little nice roll seam, and that could also look good. But just folding it 1 centimeter towards the back. Yes, it's a little bit hard to see what I'm doing here maybe, but you can see it as the fabric comes out on the other side of the sewing machine. And as I'm looking at it now, this fabric looks so wrinkly, so yeah, like it needs a good iron, a good press. I'm not the best at doing that, but other people are, and it makes it look so much neater. But this still works for me, and I just like sewing without putting any needles or pins in, just folding it as I go, and that seems to work really well for me. And then I press it afterwards and it's fine. And there's quite a bit to sew here when you have such a circle dress, because of course it's a long way around the whole circumference of this circle. But I'm done soon, and yes, there isn't that much to sew with this skirt because it actually is quite quick to make. But I've still got the arm openings, and I'm going to fold them twice in towards the back. So folding, and a very narrow fold, and then just putting the seam on top. Very narrow fold and putting the seam right in the fold. You can see it again as it coming out of the sewing machine. I lost a lot of my files from a hard drive, so I don't have the close-up of this seam, but you can hopefully still see what it's looking like here. So just a very narrow fold and a stitch, normal stitch seam on top. And I'm doing that all the way around, so both in the neck, like the front and back opening, and also in the arm openings. So simply just closing off the edges like that. And I know that there is a curve on these openings, but if you just kind of fold it nicely and closely to the edge as you go along, it is okay. And as you can see, the fabric folds a bit where I've stitched it, but you can press that in place afterwards and it looks quite okay. But there is a little bit to stitch here. And then of course it's also about making a nice kind of edge when you get to the little straps. Here it is all done. It's quite short because I didn't have that much fabric for the circle bit, so you could of course make that longer, but I think it's fun. So thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye!